Sorry. Okay, there's a little bit of a lag. Okay, so hopefully I'll be able to see if anyone pops on. Alrighty, so I want to talk about grading papers and getting that stack down. But before we talk about the strategies for actually getting the papers graded, let's talk about some pre-planning strategies. So when you're thinking of what assignments that you're going to do, some of your assignments are not going to be able to be graded any faster than they can actually be graded. So think about if you are writing, if you're grading essays or something like that, there's no real shortcut to get things done. So that means you have to be all the more aware of the assignments that you can use shortcuts on. So think ahead. Now, I'm not saying like pick your assignments based on what's easiest to grade. No, not at all. But what I am saying is that if you have an assignment where there is some sort of shortcut that you can use in order to get those papers graded, then think ahead and use it. Okay, so I'm going to pop my blog up here so you can see real fast. All right, so on the blog, there are first off some free resources that you can just download straight from here. So I'm going to talk about these free downloads and how I use them to help cut back on the time that I have to spend grading. Hi, Mary Pat. So Mary Pat is in. If you don't follow her, she is Just Add Students, and she actually is featured in this blog post because she has some amazing ideas of how to grade those assignments that you can't really, cheat your way on and use all kinds of shortcuts. So how do you save time with those? So you'll want to check out that too. I'll show it to you in just a minute when I get there. Okay, so as you go through the strategies, there are some pictures and examples that will help you see what I'm talking about. When we talk about using digital grading and letting technology help you do that, there is also a video where I walk you through step-by-step how to create a digital Scantron or bubble sheet, I guess you would say, in Google Forms. So you can watch that there. Okay, and then you can just kind of see some more. So here is where you can check out Mary Pat's blog. And I would suggest that you follow her because she literally is the smartest teacher I know. Okay, so you can see all of this awesome information and you can get to it right through my blog. Okay, so all of the information that you're going to need is right here for you to read and to go over and look at. But before I get off of this live, I wanted to show you some of those resources. Okay, so back on. Now, when I talked about using your time as wisely as possible and taking any shortcut you can, I'm going to show you some of those shortcuts. All right, so the first thing I want to show you is one of the free resources is just one of these easy graders. So I'm sure you have the easy grader that has the slider that you slide through and grade. Well, I had one of those, but it was always getting lost, and then I spent more time looking for it than not, or the kids wanted to play with them or use them when they helped me. So there are printable ones. You can just print as many copies as you want. You don't need the special little, I don't know what you would call this, sleeve. You don't need that, but if it helps you to see the grades, you can download that too. And you can just have multiple of these easy graders, and there's one of them is through 25 questions and the other one is through 50 questions. Okay, so that's the first thing first. Get that easy grader so you know what the grades are. Okay, so the other thing is to use keys that lay down on top of the student's work. So here is the key, and all I did was use a hole punch to hole punch the correct answers. Now, the students get a bubble sheet of their own. So they just use it with the regular assignment, and then this is just literally where they mark their answers. And you can get this on my blog too, and it prints 3 to a page to help you save paper. So basically the students would take their test, and then the easy grader just lays right on top of it. And then once you get it aligned, which is easier to do on a desk, but you can see just by looking which one they missed. And then you can mark right on their page, you can circle number 8. So this is kind of a layover cheat grader. And there's one with 10 questions and one with 20 questions that you can get. I like that, it's so big. Okay. Another type of cheat grader is for when you don't have multiple choice, when you have maybe short answer. Maybe it's a math test or a vocabulary test or something like that. And this looks like a regular answer sheet, but notice that the number goes after the blank. And that's so you can take the student's test and lay them one on top of the other, but offset it a little bit so that you can see everybody's answers at once. And then you just go through and grade it. So that, I think I have, let me show you an example real fast because it's hard to explain what I mean. Okay, so right here you can see how the students' papers are just laid and offset a little bit so that you can see everybody's, and then you can just mark on it right there. So I hope you could see that. Okay, so that's another little easy way that you can grade. And then I have another thing you can do is these are some little answer sheets. There's a whole bunch of them, but basically you would just cut this out and glue it right on the page before you even photocopy. So I know, like in reading, you may have to have a packet sometimes, and it might be, might be 12 questions, but it spans about 15 pages. And that grading and flipping makes it take twice as long to grade. So instead of doing that, just take one of these little bubble sheets, tape it right on the very front cover, and have students bubble their answers that way. So it's much, much faster and easier for you to grade. So there is one of those options for 10 and 20 and questions. And the last thing I want to show you is my favorite thing. If you have not used GradeCam, it is the best. It literally is a Scantron that you use your computer or your phone to grade. Each of your students get a little code, and then when they take their bubble sheet, they put it up to the camera like that, and then it grades it automatically. And there is a lot of data that you can get too. So there's a free plan, and with the free plan, the bad thing is that you're limited to only 10 questions, and also you can't get as much data, like you can't put the standard or whatever that goes with the question. But for free, it's amazing. And a lot of our assignments only have about 10 questions anyway. And so what I did is, normally the GradeCam bubble sheets take up a whole sheet of paper. And so whenever you need to print out the students' bubble sheets, it's, just wasting paper. So I was able to create a little version and scale it down and take off some of the unnecessary parts so that we can get 9 of them to a page. So when I used these, we were doing, it was kind of test prep for the STAR test, and the students had individualized homework. Well, because it was individualized, everyone was working on something different, and it happened to be multiple choice that they were working on for their test prep. And so having them be able to grade their own and me not have to have all these different keys really helped me to facilitate that differentiation that I was trying to do in my class. So those are just some of the ways that, that you can try and save a little bit of time on your grading by using some shortcuts and some strategies for making the grading process go a little bit faster. So if you have some things that you're like thinking, oh, I don't have multiple choice or short answer, I'm a writing teacher, I'm a reading teacher, then go check out my blog and read Just Add Students' blog about that, because there are some amazing strategies there as well. And mostly we just want you to, get your time back and not spend so much of your free time just trying to play catch up and trying to be the best teacher that you want to be and sacrifice yourself in the process. So if you have any questions or want to add any comments or anything like that, just leave it in the comments and I'll be sure and get back with you. So until next Wednesday, have a great week. Bye.